we are starting Unit 7, which is all about linear regression and scatter plots. So open up your new digital interactive notebook. Go ahead and put your name on it. And this one will just last, let's see, when is it due? March 3rd. So just about a week. It's a short unit. Okay, just some reminders on these first few slides. Make sure you take care of anything notes-wise if you were absent. Okay, let's go to slide 5, which is Unit 7 vocabulary. I have given you the vocabulary on your unit divider, so I will share that on Google Classroom too. But look at your unit divider, look at that vocab, and you're going to do a little drag and drop on the vocabulary. So I'm going to pause this real quick and let you do the vocabulary. Okay, so let's go ahead and check these. I need to zoom in quite a bit. There we go. So these are things that you've learned in the past about scatter plots and correlation, positive and negative correlation and no correlation. We're just going to expand on them as far as algebra and line of best fit. We are going to write the equation of the line of best fit or the trend line. Regression equation is what we are going to find. We are going to use our calculator for this. So I'm going to teach you a new skill in the calculator. Okay, let's go to slide 6. I think that's 6, right? Okay, so you need your calculator. Go ahead and get it out. Okay, so let's learn how to do regression on the calculator. What regression is you're finding the line that would represent a scatter plot. We can do this with lines that are already in a line, or we can do it with lines on a scatter plot like this one. So what we are going to do is follow these instructions here. So click on Stat, just to the lower left of the 4 direction arrows. I'm going to have this open, and I'm going to have this up as well. Okay, so go to Stats right here. And click 1 or Enter to go to Edit. Now it gives us an L1 and an L2. L1 is going to be our X's, and L2 is going to be our Y's. If something's already in there, you can go up to L1 and hit Clear, Enter. And then if there's something in L2, you could go up to L2, push Clear, Enter. And it'll clear out everything in that column. So that'll be helpful when we are changing to a different set of points. So for L1, we are going to put in the X values, which they've given to us here. So 1, enter 2, 3, 4, and 5. See how there's a glare in there. Okay, so now we're going to do L2. So that is 1, 3, 6, 9, 11. Make sure that your L1 and L2 or your X and Y pair up. Double check your numbers. And then follow step 4. So it says click Stat again. And then click over to Calculate. And we are going to do linear regression, AX plus B. What do you think the A represents? Kind of like MX plus B. M and A would be your same thing. So what would A represent? Do y'all remember? Yeah. M, which is slope. Yeah. And then B would be what? The y-intercept, exactly. So click on that. So it doesn't tell you which one to click. So let's put a little circle on here so that we remember that we are clicking this one. You can do freehand or you can do this. I'm going to make it transparent, make it blue, and then make it a little, well, not that thick. I can't even see it. So that is the one that you're using, linear regression. Okay. So once you click linear regression, we are going to hit enter all the way until we get to calculate and then push enter again. So see how it says X list is L1, Y list is L2, and then store, we don't want to store it. We're just going to calculate. And then it gives us our A and our B. So that is the equation. The only thing it doesn't give us, which we are going to need to find later, would be the R, the correlation coefficient. We're not going to worry about that right now, though. Okay, so this is our equation. So let's put a text box here and let's write the equation. So it'd be y equals 2.6x minus 1.8. So you plug in the A and the B. We can also graph this as a scatter plot on our graph in our calculator. So let's follow the instructions for number 7. Oh, and by the way, this is called your regression equation. It's the equation that represents the line of best fit. If y'all remember what that is, it's the line that goes through the points, the best that it can fit it. So we are going to look at the data on the scatter plot now. So number 7, to see the data, turn on stat plot, second y equals. So go to second y equals. We're going to turn the plot on. So it said plot 1 on, so push enter. We're going to turn it on. And then these are the different types of plots that we can do. We're going to do the scatter plot, which is the first one. It's already selected for us. We can change how the plots look, a plus, a dot or a smaller dot, or just a big circle. I'm going to use the big circle. And then you can also change the color. I'm going to do mine magenta. Okay, once you have all of your preferences selected, hit graph and check that out. I actually want to be able to see all of my data, so I can hit zoom. Number 9 is zoom stat. So if you want to type that over here, zoom stat, to see the data better. There's little notes that you can make to help yourself remember. Okay, the last thing we're going to do is put the equation that we found from our regression equation, this one, on our graph so we can see how it fits the data. So go to y equals, and let's put the equation in, the linear regression equation, 2.6x minus 1.8. Once you have the equation in, hit graph, and let's look at how it fits the data. Looks pretty good. It has some below, some above, and then it has 1, 2 directly through. So this is your calculated line of best fit. Okay, do you have any questions on doing that? Okay, so we're done with the example. So what we are going to do, remember how we worked these out by hand to find the equation from a set of points. We already know how to do it by hand. So that's why we are going to practice doing it using the calculator. You will see in Algebra 2 and beyond that you might have to do this by hand still. There are parts of the TSI, parts of the SAT, ACT that are non-calculator based. So that's why we always learn to do it without the calculator first. So we are going to do these 3 examples using the calculator. We have a table of values. We can find this by hand, but we are going to put it into the stat, find your regression equation, plot it, and then look and see how it goes through the points. Okay. So what you're going to have to do is clear this out. You can go ahead and just clear out your memory if you want, or you can go to stat, edit, go up to L2, push clear, enter, over to L1, clear, enter. I don't like to reset my calculator every time. I really just like going in and clearing L1, L2. So let's put in X for L1 and then Y for L2. So look back at the steps on what to do. Once you have L1 and L2 in, you go to stat. And what are we doing? We're calculating. So go over to calculate. What are we finding? Linear regression. So we go down to 4, enter, and just hit enter. There we go. It'd be negative 4.5x plus 6. So then our next thing is to look at our stat plot. So go to second y equals, which is stat plot. Make sure your plot 1 is on. Remember, second y equals. Okay, hit graph. Oh, I still have my old line in there. I need to get rid of that. Actually, I'm going to change it. So push clear on the y equals to change it to our new equation, negative 4.5x plus 6. Whenever I hit graph, it's going downhill, but I don't see any data points. So what do I have to change about my zoom? Remember? Go back down here. Zoom stat. Okay, let me look at it in just a sec. Zoom 9. And now you can see your points and your line. Did you already push zoom stat, Katie? Zoom, go to zoom at the top, and then go to stats. I think it's number 9. Okay. The points go exactly through the line. So this is a perfect line of best fit. Okay, go ahead and do number 2. I'm going to pause it so you can do number 2. Okay, so you should have completed 2. So I'm going to show you what that will look like. So you go to edit, put that in L1, L2. Turn the plot on, hit graph, but we can't see anything. So that's where I said hit zoom and then go to zoom stat. So zoom and number 9 is zoom stat. You can hit 9 or you can just go down to it. And then it shows you your points. And then go to y equals, put your equation in. It was 7x plus 32. Graph, and it goes through those points perfectly. Okay, so make sure you have that typed in. 7x plus 32. Move this over. There we go. The last one, we are given a graph this time and then 2 points and asked for the equation. Remember doing this by hand? You found your slope, you found your y-intercept, and write it. Let's do it with the calculator now. So we go to Stat.
Oh, my calculator's stalling.
Edit. Clear L1. Clear L2. So it would be -8 and then matched with 3. Oh, you can't see my calculator. Oh, I need to scoot this over, I guess. And then -3 matched with, so you'd have to go over to -4.5. And we are calculating the regression equation. So go to Stat, over to Calculate, down to number 4 for linear regression. Enter, 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 enter. -1.5x minus 9. Now we need to go to y equals, clear out the equation that's in there. Put the new equation in. Then do our stat plot, make sure that's on. Graph. But we can't see anything, so that's where we go to zoom, number 9 for zoom stat. Oh, I push enter and pause it. All right. So we are done with slides today. You have a Delta math assignment, which is just you're going from a table of values and writing the equation using your calculator. And you can go ahead and get started on that.